the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the second installment in this grand matchup that we all look forward to every single year. I think the outcome of this is pretty predictable, but the contestants include The Miz, Damian Mizdow, Ryback, Big Show, Kane, Mark Henry, Connor, Victor, Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Eric Rowan, not Eric Young, excuse me. Eric Young is not in the match. Zack Ryder, Fandango, Adam Rose, Jack Swagger, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Sin Cara, Goldust, and the winner of the NXT tournament. So, throw a little curveball in there. Arden, I'm going to start with you, and also in the NXT tournament is Adrian Neville, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, and Tyler Breeze. So, your prediction for who wins the tournament at the Access show on Thursday at WrestleMania Access, and who you think wins this match?
Oh, wow. First off, tell me the participants get in the NXT. I didn't know NXT was having a Battle Royal.
Yeah, they're doing it on Thursday. They got Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor, and Adrian Neville.
Adrian Neville. Let me go with Adrian Neville and NXT. I've seen him before. He's really good. And for the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, considering who's the contestant, I think it's obvious who has to win. It has to be the big guy, Ryback. Ryback has to win this one. To me, I don't think there's any other choice. If you want to keep his name afloat, if you want him to have something to carry him over for at least the next couple to a few months, give it to Ryback. When I look at this list, other than, to be honest, I don't really see anybody else who really deserves to win this Battle Royal.
We want his down.
Oh, please, forget him. Even though it's funny. Maybe besides the NXT guy, if you want to get his name up, I think it has to be Ryback.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I feel like Ryback is definitely a viable candidate, but Mizdow's got to be up there too. That's the only story they're telling going into this Battle Royal.
What are you going to do with him, though? If he wins it, then what's the point of him winning it? What, to help him break up from the Miz? Like, what's going on?
I feel like that's going to be their platform for breaking up Miz and Mizdow. They could always do a spot where Mizdow throws up Miz, then Mizdow gets thrown out. I'm not ruling that out of the question, but I feel like...
Yeah, that would be better anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that's where they might go. But of those three people, I feel like Mizdow has gotten the most focus. And I love Ryback as much as the next guy. And they also put out a video for him, I think today, on their website or whatever, WWE.com, talking about why Ryback needs to win. He got really emotional while coming back from injury. So I feel like that would be a great ending too. Mizdow, though, has got the story. I don't feel like he needs to win this. Either guy could very well win. The NXT guy is also the wild card in all of this. And that if they have him win it all and make a huge impression at WrestleMania, that would be amazing. I don't feel like that's going to happen. But before we go with my prediction, though, Michael, start with you. Your prediction for the NXT tournament winner and the winner of the second annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they had this NXT tournament. That's actually interesting. I'm a huge fan of, is it I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'd say it's Finn Balor, but is it Balor? I don't even know. But,
everyone pronounces it differently, yeah.
I'll call him Prince Devitt. But I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's ready to go to the main roster now, along with Kevin Owens. But honestly, the guy who had, I think he should have been called up 6 months ago. But I think Adrian Neville will probably win that. I think he's most, deserving of the call-up to the main roster, and so I think he'll win that, and they'll show him off at WrestleMania. As for the winner, my prediction on the actual Battle Royal, I think Ryback is probably the favorite. I know, last night Bill Simmons was talking him up on the video today on WWE.com. Bill Simmons is talking him up again. Ryback had a video, like you said. It was actually a pretty good interview. You can check it out.
It was,
he got emotional, everything. He is actually pretty good at those backstage interviews. You can tell that he cares about the business and stuff. But like I said, I just think if they want this match to, mean something and not just have it be filler, that place, if it comes down to Mizdow and Miz, that place is going to explode. The place is going to go nuts for Mizdow. They've been teasing it for weeks, and you can tell every single time, they tease that Mizdow's about to hit him or do something, the crowd just goes bonkers for it. So I think I want Mizdow, and, if I had money on it, I'd go Ryback. But at the same time, you never know with Ryback. I always feel, look at Survivor Series. He got eliminated in like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You never know. So, I feel like, 1 second they're high on him. The next second, he's got a match on main event, So, I'm going to go with Mizdow for once and Mizdow for the prediction. Hopefully they don't mess that up because, I think the payoff to the Mizdow story could be incredible.
I think an argument could be made that the dynamic between Mizdow and Miz is one of the most anticipated things going into WrestleMania. It's been built all the way back to August when these two first formed and joined and formed a partnership. So for it to culminate at WrestleMania and then lead to a singles match at Extreme Rules or whatever, it's going to be huge. Like you said, that place is going to come unglued when it comes down to those two. And you throw Ryback into the mix too. I feel like those are your three top winners there, along with the NXT guy. The NXT guy, I'll give my prediction on in a minute, but I feel like they need to have him in there and make some sort of lasting impression. You know what I mean? They can't throw him out immediately because otherwise, what was the point? It does more damage to that guy than it does help them. But I think it's great, though, because we talked about before, an NXT match should have been on the pre-show. I would have cared about that 10 times more than I do the tag team title match. But regardless, so I feel like this Battle Royal could be interesting in more ways than one. So, RJ, your pick of both the tournament and the Battle Royal.
For the tournament, I think this is a consensus pick. Adrian Neville makes the most sense. Should have been called up a while ago, like Mike said, but he's been flown around in NXT doing pretty much nothing because he's already faced everyone. So I think that's already a given that he's probably going to win. And like you said, he should at least eliminate someone of somewhat notoriety. You can't just eliminate like Darren Young, and I would give two craps.
Big Show or Kane.
Big Show or Kane would be perfect people to eliminate.
Yeah.
And my pick for Andre Giant Memorial is someone that hasn't even been mentioned yet.
Ooh, drum roll, please.
The returning Sheamus.
Ooh, you think so?
I think if
that's a good one.
I think if he doesn't return, I would go with Mizdow. But I think he's going to return at WrestleMania and win the Giant Memorial.
You think he's going to be in that match over the IC title match?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of speculation as to how Sheamus might return.
But if Sheamus isn't in the match, I'm going with Mizdow. I think that makes the most sense. Like you said, people would go bonkers in that stadium.
Much like Cesaro last year,
Oh
too.
my God, people want to see Mizdow, so they would go nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'd really do for him after, but it'd just be a great moment to culminate the rest of his, half of last year into this year and his rise in popularity.
Exactly, absolutely. So you got at the end of the day though, you got Sheamus.
If he's in the match, Sheamus.
Okay.
If he's not, Mizdow.
Okay. So Sheamus. We've also got Ryback and Mizdow. But before I give my pick, I want to ask you guys. RJ brought this up, so a great topic to talk about here. Mike, how do you feel like Sheamus might get involved in WrestleMania, or at all? Do you feel like he might not show up?
Well, I'll go first and say I think there's two options, and I'm glad you brought it up because there's actually something I was thinking about saying on my show tomorrow. I think there's two options that I'm going to have for Sheamus. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Actually, no, three. One being the Battle Royal, right? Mm-hmm. Two, we've heard, I know you guys have heard it, or I hope so. You guys heard the reports about Sheamus coming back as a heel, right?
Yeah, of course, yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard about the fact that he could come back as a heel for the Authority, right? Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe for the second option, there's a possibility that if anything, Sheamus could come back as interference during the Orton-Rollins match. That's my second option. Or three, I think it's a very unlikely one. Maybe Sheamus could somehow interfere in the Sting Triple H match. The third one's very unlikely, but I think those are the three options for a Sheamus return.
I agree with you, though. You brought up the interesting one. The most interesting one of those three was Orton and Rollins. I feel like if he were to make an impact in that match, which is likely if they want to give Rollins the win, and Rollins has not gotten the better of Randy Orton since he came back. So that's a distinct possibility if they want to give Rollins the win. So I could see that happening. But Sheamus, in whatever role he's in, I feel like they really need to make the most of him. And if he's in the match and doesn't win, then what was the point? You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's what they're going to do. But Mike, what's your pick for Sheamus at WrestleMania? Do you feel like he will be at WrestleMania, and if so, in what match?
Yeah, so Arden, I didn't know that he was coming back at the heel, so thanks a lot. No, I'm just
no problem.
I'm just messing with you. Like Arden said, the reports. I think Sheamus has to come back as a heel. Maybe that first night he'll get a face pop. But he has to come back as a heel. He was way too boring, the past 4 of his face run. He just needs to be that kick-ass heel. That just basically is this big bully, ass kicker pretty much. I think that, and I just thought about it, Graham, when you brought it up. I think, if their final four of the Battle Royal is, Sheamus, Ryback, Miz, and Mizdow, you have a couple of good stories there, and that's actually pretty interesting. Give me Sheamus, knocking, bro kicking Ryback out. Have Ryback and Sheamus feud. I think that'll be a hell of a feud. Two of these huge, muscle-bound guys just beating the crap out of each other. And then, you have Miz and Mizdow. But, I think, Sheamus coming back as a heel. I think, Battle Royal is definitely a good spot to put him in. And I don't think he necessarily needs to win the Battle Royal, but I could see it happening. But I'm definitely would be down. Just thought about it right now. I would definitely be down for a Sheamus Ryback feud.
So I'm going to steal a little bit from everything from everybody here. In regards to Sheamus, I absolutely agree with everybody. He needs to come back as a heel. They need more top heels, especially if Wyatt and Rusev lose at WrestleMania. They need all the top heels they can get, and I refuse to call Big Show and Kane top heels in WWE in 2015. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But in regards to Sheamus...
smart.
What was that?
Just smart for doing that.
Exactly. Not a Big Show or Kane fan. But when it comes to Sheamus, I absolutely agree that we should get a Ryback feud with Sheamus after WrestleMania. I think it'd be a good fit for both guys, something fresh. But I'm going to go off the cuff here. I'm going to go a little, off the stream. I feel like Sheamus will show up on Monday Night Raw the next night. We all thought Rusev was going to debut at WrestleMania last year, but then he debuted the next night on Raw. Something always happens on the night after Raw. Rob Van Dam came back last year on the night after WrestleMania. So I feel like Sheamus will come back in some big way on that Raw. Maybe not in a main event slot, but I feel like he will come back to attack Ryback or whoever. So I got Sheamus coming back the night after WrestleMania on that Raw. When it comes to the Battle Royal itself and the tournament, I got Adrian Neville like all of you guys. If Valor wins, I'd go nuts. I feel like it'd be so awesome if he wins. If the NXT guy wins this Battle Royal, I would go even more nuts, but I feel like that's not going to happen. But still, though, if he gets a strong showing, then it won't matter. It's going to be pretty good. In terms of the winner, three-way tiebreaker here. You, RJ, you got Sheamus, if he's in the match. Mike, you've got Mizdow, and Arden, you've got Ryback. At the end of the day, I got to go with Mizdow here. I feel like he is the one that's got to win. Ryback, if he won, I'd be equally happy because I'm a big Ryback fan. I'm an equal big mark for the big guy. But I feel like Mizdow, with the story they've been telling, that they're setting up the win for him at WrestleMania. Give him his moment. And what happens after that, I really have no idea. They may, botch the feud and he's back to jobbing on superstars like Cesaro was last year. We really have no idea until it happens. But I feel like Mizdow...
They'll definitely ruin it somehow.
Oh, they will. They will. They absolutely will.